So we just completed our 3 deep breaths, visualizing the white iridescent light coming through our bodies. And when we exhale, we did the Om with it more like a hum, because that hum, that vibration is exactly what is activating the third eye so that we can be visionaries, that we can start activating the light. And I'm telling you, once you really activate your higher mind, your higher self, you'll see that a lot of your goals and destinations and things that you want to manifest will actually change. They'll come from a higher vibrational frequency. And remember, what we've been talking about in this class is what Nikola Tesla said, that everything is energy, everything is vibration, and everything is frequency. Those are the 3 things. I said, he probably said it in the order of energy, frequency, and vibration. And he talked about the numbers 3, 6, and 9, which fascinated me to no end, because in Vedic astrology, that's the platform of the divisional chart of the Navamsha and the nakshatras. There are all these divisions that equate to the number 9. So, and in astrology, I think the number 12 comes to the number of completion, but these are all divisions of 3, 6, 9, and 12. They're all 3. And I always say in astrology, the most underrated house in the chart is the 3rd house. So, a lot of the astrologers say, oh, it's a dastana, meaning it's a bad house. It's a maldastana. It isn't. It's the house that gives us willpower. And if we didn't have our willpower, where would we be? We all need that, which comes to something I'm going to talk about when we start looking at the astrology. And that is the fact that, and yes, it is a fact that with Mars being retrograde, our energy levels are lower. Therefore, our willpower is lower. Have you guys noticed that? I don't know if I'm the only one that feels this way, but I really do feel like energy is at a low point. It almost feels like the beginning of the year, everything's kind of standing still. Even though we want to start manifesting things and make things happen quickly in our lives, it's okay to stand still for some time. It's a time just to rest. And that time period can be put into action where we're starting to make our plans, making plans where we're resting and really feeling like we're getting in touch with our truth, our reality. So don't feel like you've got to be in this raving action. We're going to have plenty of time to be action oriented very soon, because I was looking at the planets for February. I was trying to get myself into action to writing my February predictions way ahead of time. Of course, I couldn't, because it's just really kind of a time to rest, to be in sort of like the planning stage, like, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? It's a really good time to meditate. I found that my meditations have been more peaceful, more deeper. Why? Because I'm not running around and doing. My point is, with Mars and particularly Mercury being retrograde right now, it's time to reflect, to meditate, to review, to go back and see what it is we need to be focusing in on for when our energy level comes back. Because I noticed by the end of February, every planet will be direct. There's going to be no retrogrades, not even the outer planets. Uranus is about to turn direct too. I think it's like the 3rd week of this month or so. But because everything's going to be direct, this is going to really be a time of moving forward. Do not worry. I'm trying to see what day Uranus turns direct. I know it's about the 3rd week of this month, because after that, all the planets are direct. Let's see, did I put that on here? That's okay. We know when it's going to turn direct. So every planet, Mercury, Mars, Uranus, that are retrograde right now will be direct. And
January 13th.
The 13th. Okay, so it's mid-month. So it's coming up here. It's about the same time that Mars is going to turn direct, January 12th.
It's a Friday, Friday the 13th.
Oh, good. Well, you know, that's kind of a lot of people think that's a good thing. So I don't know where all that. I remember one time Good Morning Texas had me come down and speak on their show about Friday the 13th. And I did a lot of research on it, and it was just kind of like a positive date, really. I don't know who's made it into something negative, but you know, that's just the way the thing is. People will pay attention if they talk about something negative, right? Instead of something positive. So
Mercury goes direct on the 18th.
yeah, yes.
Yeah.
I know Mercury, and it depends on where you are in the world, because sometimes, you know, it's the 17th or the 19th, but whatever. Yeah.
I was looking at Mars, Michelle.
No, Mercury's
Okay.
going to go direct too. When was it again? On
18th.
the 7th? I thought it was the 17th, but it could be the 18th. Yeah.
Yeah, about that time.
Yeah. So
And then we have a Sun Mercury Cazimi this Saturday morning with a full moon.
all right. So there's going to be, you know, let's put it this way, with all that going on, there's going to be a lot of forward movement. So don't worry yourself so much about the lack of energy right now. That's all I'm trying to tell you. So I'm going to show you the pictures I pulled today. And for the first time, I'm kind of stumped as to what it's trying to tell me. So I'm going to need your help probably more today. But here is the first picture I pulled. Okay, so what does this represent to you? I mean, I'm sure I chose this because it has something to do with age. It has something to do with the aging process, or, you know, maybe it could deal with wisdom, maybe it could deal with getting older, maybe it's things that are worn out, or maybe, let's see, what does his face look like? Does he look happy, sad, content, serious? Kind of staring out into space, but yeah. So anyway, but let's pair it together with the next picture, because I feel like these pictures, the front and back, the back tells more about what the first one is relative to. And it's this. So I know when I chose this one, I was basically, I like the fact that she looks like she was kind of so flirtatious. She finds this man quite interesting, I think. He's on a motorcycle. I would imagine he's something like a policeman or somebody that's, you know, but she's flirting with him. She's like, to me, she looks like, isn't he cute? What a cute guy. Boy, this guy's adorable. And, you know, I'm sure he's picking up on those vibes that she's putting out, because that was the main reason why I took this photo, because she looks so, what do you call it? Giggly, or, you know, just like, ooh, he's so cute.
She's completely smitten with him.
Yeah, smitten, that's a good word, you know. So that's what I wanted. So how on earth, you know what I surmised after studying these two pictures? It's never too late for love. It's never too late to start over. And whether that means in a romantic relationship, whether that means in a family relationship, it's never too late to begin anew when it comes to love. That's what I got out of this. But, you know, it's just such freshness to see her face being so sweet and so enamored by him, so smitten by him. And kind of, you know, she doesn't realize she's flirting. She's just smiling at him because she thinks he's so cute, I think. She can't help it. And so what would this mean in terms of the seriousness? It's almost like this is a representation of Saturn. Saturn being old, wise, serious. That to me is what I would consider a Saturnian type face. Okay, what is this? If we were to relate it to astrology, maybe Venus, or it's almost like a Venus-Mercury conjunction. Yeah, so what do you think for the new year to pull up such pictures that, what is it really trying to tell us for the new year? What are we supposed to be focusing in on? The newness of, and even whatever it is that we're truly passionate and interested in, that we should be serious about. We should be serious about our goals, our dreams, what we really, really
like she new
manifest.
tools that she's happy about, right?
But
Like new tools that she's happy about.
that could definitely be it, because there's so many tools to our disposal right now. I'm going to play a little video for you guys, and then I'm going to tell you really, we've been talking about the law of attraction this whole class, and let me just give you break it down very simply. This is what we need to be doing. Whatever it is that you want to manifest in your life, first you must imagine it. Visualize what you want. Second of all, the most important thing to manifest anything is you have to feel it. So you have to feel what it's like. Every single sense come alive in terms of feeling it, what it is that we want to manifest. And once you're feeling it, to really make it manifest, you've got to feel this, and it has to be part of your all day long, that you already have it, you're already there. All day long, feel it.
Mhm,
And I
yeah.
guarantee you're going to manifest it, whatever it is. So I already shared this video with Michelle and Madeline, but I want to share this little video. It's about a prayer that Greg Braden talks about, but actually it's on the website of this cute little guy. He's not that young, but he is to me. Cute little guy that I think is a wonderful YouTuber. So I'm going to share his little thing about Greg Braden. So I am, hold on a second, going to make sure I have his deal pulled up here on YouTube, and we're going to watch it for a minute. I think you're going to love this. This is really empowering for the new year, as I'm always looking for new, where is it? New things. Okay, here we go. All right, so let me go back to share. Okay, hold on. All right, share screen. And here it is. Okay, I'm going to pull it on full screen and just listen to this for a minute.
He explains a prayer technique that literally changed my life. I mean, once I learned this prayer technique, I went from being a college dropout, trying to create my reality, self-publishing my first book because no one would publish it and everyone said it wouldn't sell, to becoming a millionaire by the time I was 27, publishing books with the largest English publishing company in the world, Penguin Random House, and becoming a multi-millionaire by the time I turned 30. I'm retiring my wife, and I'm not saying any of that to like brag, so you think I'm cool or something like that. I'm just saying it because it is freaking crazy how powerful prayer is if you know how to do it. And Greg Braden is an aerospace scientist that went on a mission to discover the real science of prayer. And I break this down into 7 steps. I'm just sitting here looking at the beautiful mountains. It's a beautiful day. I was just looking out from my living room, and every time I look out, it reminds me of the power of prayer. It reminds me of the power of prayer, and it reminds me of the power of consciousness. And so I hope you enjoy this video. You can check out Greg Braden's book on prayer, which I'll link right there down below. Make sure you hit the like button on this video to send it out into the YouTube universe so more people see this video. And right there down below is my free success hypnosis. It's jakeshypnosis.com right there down below. It's my free success hypnosis that I started to use because what I noticed is the hard part, once you learn this prayer technique, it's going to change your life, whether it's money, whether it's love, whether it's health, whether it's career stuff, whether it's a house, car, whatever the heck it is that you want. And it could be many things over the course of time. It's going to happen when you follow this 7-step process very specifically. But one of the issues that I fell into is after I would do the prayer technique, sometimes, later on in my day, I'd revert to old thinking patterns. And I realized so much of my life was subconsciously programming me to block what I wanted. I was getting in my own way, right? Like I said, of all these things that I feel so grateful for that I was able to manifest in my life from this prayer technique that I said earlier. And I probably would have done a million times better if I didn't just get in my way so much. So that's why I created this free success hypnosis. It's right there down below. It's jakeshypnosis.com in the description and pinned to the comments, and you can check that out. Without further ado, I'm going to go sit down right over here at one of my new favorite film spots. And I'm going to break down these 7 prayer techniques. Comment right there down below. Let me know where in the world you're coming from. I'm in the beautiful southwest of the United States, and the power of prayer is universal. You may think, well, is it going to work because I'm older, I'm younger, I live in this certain place, or have these memories and these things that happen to me, and my current reality seems like it's not where I want. The power of prayer works everywhere. Let me know one thing you're grateful for, where in the world you are coming from, what city, state, and let's dive right into this very powerful Greg Braden prayer technique that changed my life. And more importantly, it can change your life as well. So the very first step in this Greg Braden prayer technique is a little phrase that Greg learned from an ancient prayer technique passed through Native American traditions that were in New Mexico. And it's called praying for rain. And watch this video all the way through. I'm going to be sharing with you a step-by-step process to do this. And this isn't just theory. I used to, like I said, pray for what I want. I didn't get it. And when I came across this Greg Braden prayer technique, my life changed. I became a millionaire, like I said, by 27, 28, multimillionaire by 30. Amazing things just started happening in my life left and right that I wanted, but I wasn't getting. And it all comes down to this very central idea of praying for rain, right? So Greg Braden tells a story, and he's been traveling all over the world to Tibet and everywhere, trying to figure out how do you pray? What is the science of prayer? So this Native American chief that learned all this prayer techniques through his ancestors has him go on a big long hike through the very dry New Mexico desert, right? So imagine that you're walking with Greg Braden and you're walking with this super incredible Native American chief, and you're walking through the desert. You get all the way up to this beautiful flat mesa, this beautiful vista that's overlooking the desert. And Greg says to you and to the chief, he says, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We're here. We're finally going to learn out how to pray for rain. And the chief says, yes, we've needed rain, so we're going to pray now. So you and Greg get all excited. You're sitting there. You got this big smile on your face like this. Yeah. And 30 seconds pass. The chief's silent, and then he says, okay, let's go. And you guys are like, what? Yeah, I already prayed. That's what the chief says. And the chief says, well, all I did was thank Mother Nature for the rain that I could smell, for the water I could smell it. I felt the raindrops on my body. I felt it in my hair. I could hear it. I could hear the crack of thunder, and I could see my people having their crops nourished. I could see it. I could feel it. I just said, thank you. So prayer is not about asking for something. Prayer is about giving thanks for having it. But our culture, we've been taught to think that prayer is about asking for something. But what it's really about is actually feeling that you already have it and genuinely thanking God, spirit, the universe, whatever it is, life, genuinely thanking it, you already have it. So that leads me to my notes on number 2 is understand that prayer is a feeling and feeling is a vibration. So giving thanks for having it is about evoking a feeling. That chief was evoking a feeling when he heard the rain. He was evoking a feeling when he smelled it. He was evoking a feeling when he could hear the thunder. Was evoking a feeling in his nervous system and the cells of his body and his entire electromagnetic field when he was feeling the rain hitting his hair and his face, and he licked some of the raindrops off his lip or wiped it away from his eye. He's evoking a feeling. But how we pray is we think of the universe, we think of God, we think of whatever you want to call it as a vending machine in the sky. Hey, God, I need some money. Hey, God, you up there? Can you give us some rain? Hey, God, I'm really trying to meet my soulmate, right? So think about what it is that you want. What do you want? Is it money, better job, make more money, get out of debt, your dream house? Is it your soulmate? Is it health? Think of anything that you want. And then the question is, can you give thanks for a future that has not been made manifest yet? Prayer is a feeling and feeling is a vibration. In the Bible, it says that creation is finished. And I always thought that was bizarre. Like, what does it mean creation is finished? But if you think about it from the new science, creation is finished. Everything is energy, right? We know everything is energy. Energy is never created or destroyed. So creation is finished since everything is energy. All your prayers, all your wishes, it's all energy. And if energy is never created or destroyed and creation is finished, everything that you want already exists, essentially waiting for you to usher it into being through your shift in your feelings, which is a shift in your vibration. Because feelings are emotion. Emotion is energy in motion. You can comment that down below. Emotion equals energy in motion. Now, emotion is energy in motion. So prayer is feeling is vibration. So prayer is about evoking a feeling which alters reality from a subatomic level. So prayer is very scientific. Anyone that says that it's new age, anyone that leaves a comment, Jake, this is just new age junk. Okay. God bless you. Because the science already shows us that energy is never created or destroyed and that everything is energy.
Okay, so did you guys get what he's trying to say here? You can go back and listen to the whole thing, but basically, here, I don't need to be looking at that astrology yet, but basically from this, here's what I want you to get. You got to feel it with every sense of your body. And when you're in this constant mode of feeling and being in gratitude, remember that was one of the key issues in the prayer work. You're thanking the divine for what you have, and what you have, you must feel with every cell in your body that you have it. There's no such thing really as a past, present, or future. We're in the now, and you have it now. And that is the most powerful technique. And actually, I was watching another one that Jake was doing today, but it was more of a sales pitch, you know. He's worse than I am with the sales pitch, isn't he? So, but but what he was talking about, which is really true, he said that there's proof that the CIA, the government's been using the law of attraction and doing all these studies with people, how they're changing their consciousness, their mind, and the chemistry in their brain to manifest everything now that you want. It really and truly isn't hard. And that's what we have to know. We think it's impossible and hard because we've been told that, but it's not. When you come from this place, just imagine the American Indian, how they pray for rain. I mean, they're giving thanks to God that the rain's there, and they're visualizing it It's happened. They smell the rain. You know what it smells like right after it rains. They feel it on their body. They feel it hitting their forehead, their scalp, they feel the humidity in the air. They feel it rising. They feel everything about it, and seeing the people rejoice because they need rain. Every aspect of what you want to manifest, you've got to get into the feeling sense. And that means bringing in all 5 of your senses. So, but it isn't that hard to start thinking you've got it. And you start living in that knowingness that you've manifested exactly, you're there. And as you come from that place where this is part of 24/7, you'll see that you'll change your reality, and it will be anything that you want. It will be there. Okay, so here's the list I put. Imagine what you want. So that means visualizing it. Feeling, you got to feel it with all 5 senses. Make it present. It's already happened. It's in your life. And 3, make it constant, where you're feeling it and you're in that place constantly. That's not hard to do. It just takes effort. And once you do it, you'll be sold. Okay, so, and you can watch other people's videos that talk about this. There's so many people out there talking about this right now. It is a reality. It's a fact. I've manifested many of the things that I've visualized in detail. Sometimes, though, I will say this: we don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but we know what we want. We know what we want to feel, but we don't see all the details. That's okay. The universe will provide that. So just I want everyone to write down what it is you want. Okay, and maybe it's just emotional happiness with family. Maybe you don't have to visualize exactly what that looks like. The universe will provide, but feel a sense of the joy and happiness of having that which you want. And you're going to see that this is the beginning of the new year. And I also feel like astrologically, this is the time for us to really sit still and figure out what we want. So then the visualizations and the meditations, the feeling, the constant knowing, being in the present, that's going to manifest it. But first, figure out what you want. This is a time of reflection with retrograde planets. It's not that because the planet's retrograde, nothing's going to happen. No, it's time to reflect. I say when planets are retrograde, it's a time for RE, reflect, review, reassess. And you're going to find that with all of that, that gives you the power to create. So going back to my photos for the day, anyone have anything that they want to add to what these images? Maybe this is the contemplation of what we want.
I can't stop thinking that, like, Robin Williams as he got older.
Yeah, the hat does make me
Get
think
that?
that hat. Yeah, it
No,
does
I just
kinda look
can't
like
think
him.
of that.
You're right. So what do you think what do you think any of this means for us for the new year?
My first thought was, when I saw it, the first thing that came to my mind was the old is going away and the new is where we're heading. And it's refreshing and exciting in her face. And it's not all that sad for him. Maybe he's ready to let it go,
Yeah,
and time to move on.
I
That was the first thing that crossed my mind.
I agree, because the way she looks, she looks like it's a good time ahead. He looks like, yeah. So the old is definitely, and I've told a lot of people have been going through rough times lately, and it's because of Saturn. Let's say that darn Saturn. Saturn's just the planet that it's in the very last phase of a sign. Sidereally, it's in the last few degrees of Capricorn, so it's ending. The old is going away. this is an opportunity for us to really concentrate on what it is we want for this year. And, you know, a lot of people have been talking about how bad this year is going to be. I don't see that. I really don't see that. I think that, yes, the old is going away, and for something to go away and die and end, it might be sad, but we're ready for the new. And I feel like looking towards the period when Jupiter and Rahu and Uranus are all going to be in Aries. What is the sign Aries? Here, we'll go ahead and start looking. I'll start sharing the screen with the chart. But you know, coming up here in the time of April, Jupiter's going to go into Aries the end of April, and it's going to be there with Uranus and Rahu. On top of that, Saturn's going to be here aspecting it. So this energy of Aries, which is the new beginning, the first sign of the zodiac, it represents the birth of something brand new, the child, the freshness and excitement of beginnings and pioneers of new things. This is what this year is going to bring about. And those that want to hold on to the past and the old, they might be miserable. But I don't think any of us here, we're all ready for the new. We're all ready for something new, and it's exciting and it's fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think that really is something that's in this girl's eyes. Fun, you know, fun, excitement, freshness, newness, being in love with our life, being in love with the world, being in love with something that's new and exciting. That's what's coming for all of us. That's what I get out of this depiction. But tell me if I missed anything. Is there anything, you know, maybe him being on a motorcycle, but he stopped for a minute. He's getting ready to move forward, but we're still kind of in that figuring out. You know, another thing I noticed, he's got is that his middle finger he's got pointed out? I don't know what that, you know what that does mean though? You know, in palmistry, the middle finger is Saturn. So it can mean, you know, that with intention, we're standing still right now. We're figuring out what it is that we want. And he's on a motorcycle. He's going to move forward soon. And so are we. I don't know if I'm reading too much into it, but maybe not. But you know what? Everything is how we see it. You know, I was thinking back to the time that I showed the picture of the church. It looked like a mass was being performed in a beautiful old church. And I got the representation of, you know, beliefs and religion and how that affected my life. And someone else said, I think it's a beautiful thing because it's my reverence to the spirit, the divine. So, you know, everyone perceives something based on their experiences. And so we're all different. That's why I always ask for your reflections on the pictures, that the symbolism in the pictures that I pull and what you think it represents. Because you may see something different, and it's truly our truths on all levels. So anyone else want to add to what I just pointed out?
Actually, Joni, I pulled the chart on New Year's Day just for the heck of it. And it wasn't much different than the chart of today, obviously. And the thing that struck me was that, you know, Mercury had just gone into Sag, and Venus was there. So we've got Uttar Shadabhata and Purva Shadabhata, anyway, you know the nakshatras I'm talking about. I don't think I'm saying them right, but ruled by both Venus and the sun. So the Venus and the sun were being very activated. And so you've got Mercury, which is youth, And then Venus, which is love. So it's love of the youth. And then Capricorn, where Saturn is at the bends between Rahu and Ketu. And so to me, what this means is, and you pulled a Saturnian guy, is that we're saying goodbye to Saturn, to the old. This is being activated, and the Atura Shadabhata, and then
Okay, Michelle, half the people here don't know astrology, so you can leave all of that out.
Okay, well, anyway, those two nakshatras are all about politics and the truth and coming out, and then basically, and so that's what's going on. And in order to manifest what we want out of life, there has to be love, which is represented by Venus. So we have the Saturnian man. So we're saying goodbye to the old. Then we have the young girl who's in love with or smitten by that bicycle guy, which is, she's manifesting, bringing in what she loves, the new, that the youth represents the new and new beginnings.
Yes.
And that's what this year, to me, that's what that meant. This year is all about. I know it's not the Pisces new moon for the year, but I just thought it was very interesting and coincidental that that was the chart that came up for New Year's Day. And this year is going to be about letting go of the old and bringing in the new, and doing it through love and awareness. And the sun's there, which I also think the sun, is yourself, is your soul, is your being. But in order for us to be able to manifest what we want in our life, yes, we have to picture it and do all that, but love has to be there, number one.
Good
And
point.
the Venus, and I didn't do the declination, so I don't know how close they were, but the Venus sun means love of the self, and you cannot manifest anything unless you love yourself first.
Right.
And that is something that I think we all have to realize. And as much as we love, we need to have the same love for ourselves that we have for our dog, for our significant others, for what we want to manifest in our life. We got to feel that love of ourselves first. And when we don't feel that love of ourselves first, then we push all the other good things away from us, because you can't fully love the good things or what you want in your life if you don't love yourself first.
Right. So I hope that you are listing all the wonderful things about yourself so that you can love yourself. We all should do that, really. I mean, it's not about being egotistical. It's about empowering ourselves by doing that. If you have an appreciation and love for yourself, then you're going to be able to manifest things. Because just like Michelle says, when we come from a place of how do we expect other people to love us if we don't love ourselves, period. And going back to the astrology, now I know I want to keep this really simple for those of you that aren't astrologers. Michelle obviously is in the astrology school. So, but I don't, you don't have to know astrology to understand that planets are retrograde and they bring things backwards. Mars does not go retrograde that often. It goes retrograde every 2 years. So this is a much more potent retrograde, what Mars is bringing out for us. Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year. So we have those opportunities to reflect about things. So like I said, retrogrades are reflection. Beautiful, beautiful reflections. People are so in key with that retrogrades are bad, but they're not. I always talk about them as the ebb and flow of the tide. Things go forward, things pull back, things move forward, things pull back. So that's why I'm saying that right now, while our energy level's low, to focus inward, because that's what a retrograde is truly about, to focus inward. What have we learned? What can we learn from what's coming to our mind? Because the retrogrades bring up the stuff from the past. And yes, Mercury just, retrograded. When it went retrograde, the very next day, it went back into the sign of Sagittarius, which is the truth finding sign. And of course, the nakshatras they're in are all about truth, because basically one thing is they're in Sagittarius, the sign of Sagittarius is the sign of the law, the legal system. It's the ninth sign, so it deals with truth. It deals with our beliefs. Remember that sometimes our beliefs are what are true to us and not necessarily true to everyone else. So when I think about ninth house, I think about the higher truth. What is the higher truth? What is science? What is, and you know, when we talk about the science behind spirituality, really, I went to a conference one time. I think I shared this with you guys, where I was a speaker and I was the only one that wasn't a doctor of some sorts, PhD. So I didn't feel like, you know, they were taking me seriously, but no, actually they did. But one thing that we surmised, all of us together from all of the studies, how science and spirituality came together, it was through nature. Nature doesn't lie. You know, when you talk about the flower of life, for example, that is the repetition of how numbers and patterns repeat in nature. And it's very mathematical, and everything is math. But you know what I got out of some of the videos I've been watching over the weekend? They said, if you understand, and this is what Tesla said, pretty much, if you understand the science, the true science, none of it makes sense in reality. So what they're trying to say is there's other worlds and dimensions that we are able to travel through our meditations to truly connect, and none of it makes sense because it's beyond the physical third dimensional world. The third dimensional world, yes, is set up on all these numbers and all these patterns and nature. But there's actually something beyond that. I was watching, I think it was one of Jake's videos last night, where he was talking about the scientists that worked with Einstein. And he was the one that actually labeled the term black hole. So black holes, you know, I told you in one of my meditations, for some reason I was focused on the stars and black holes and the fact that they take us into different dimensions. And that's where the universe is never ending. It goes through those black hole cycles and back around that suction. And we see that suction in tornadoes and in nature and hurricanes, that it's like a black hole. It sucks everything in and it comes out on the other side, then it goes back. There's no beginning or end in anything in this world. But because we're so conditioned to think about life and death, we think there's a beginning and an end. But in essence, nothing ever dies. Life is always constant. It just changes forms and vibration and frequency. So we don't have to be scientists to tap into how to use this energy in our own life. It's just that we have to know that everything that we need, that we want to manifest, has to come through a feeling and an emotion, and manifesting knowing that it's already happened. That's just the key basic principle of it all. And another thing I want to remind everyone, remember this, whatever you're thinking about most of the day is going to be your vibrational frequency and what you create in your world. So if you don't like the things that you're looking at, change it. The things that you're thinking about. And you know, for the most part, we can't control our thinking mind all the time. They say that it's pretty much controlled by our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is really, it's regulated, or it's created through our past. And that may be as children, as we grow up, that's everything that we've experienced. And that creates our reactions to things. Why do we just have a reaction without us thinking or trying to control it? It's because of the subconscious mind, and it's programmed. It's actually programmed from everything we've experienced in our life, going all the way back to children and probably going all the way back into other lifetimes. But we have the ability to change what we think when we don't like what comes up in our mind. And yeah, things are going to come up in our mind that we don't like. But remember this, every time it happens, step back, change it. This is how you're going to change your consciousness, your awareness, and you'll see the results in your life. So going back to the astrology, the one thing that I do see that's going to be happening, I believe it's going to be around the new moon. Yes, the new moon, which is around the 21st of January, that this Mars will be the same degree as where Mercury's going to back up as it goes retrograde till around 13 degrees of Sagittarius. And Mars is going to go direct on the 12th. So you're going to see that around that time, not necessarily the 12th, but the 21st, because Mars will be right where it is right now, 14 degrees. Mercury is going to be 14 degrees. That is a very, very incongruent aspect. It's called the quincunx. And the quincunx, if you want to talk about numbers and sound and vibration, that aspect, it's 6 and 8, if you'll count from the sign Sagittarius to Taurus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you count back to Mars to Sagittarius, you'll arrive at the number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, you don't have to know any astrology. Just know that these houses in astrology are very difficult. Therefore, anytime planets situate in a 6-8 relationship, they're going to cause havoc and difficulty and just a sense of things not being harmonious. It's like that chord you strike in the sound vibration on the piano that sounds like, ooh, you need one more to complete it. And so therefore, you're going to find that things are going to be discordant. Things are not going to be balanced. They're not going to be harmonious. And because of that irritation, it's going to cause the reason for resolution to find balance and healing from that discordant feeling. So there's going to be a healing that arrives after this. But I want you to remember Mars stationing right now, going to go direct by the 12th. Our energy, our courage, our ambition, our drive, our willpower will be restored. Right now, it's like weak. Mars rules energy in the world. So we're all feeling a bit out of sorts, a little bit discordant. So it's time really to go within, because if we don't have the external energy, it's time to develop and work on our internal energy. So you see, astrology is simply a tool to know when is the best time to do things. And everything is cyclic. We can't always forge forward 100 miles an hour. That's why every time planets go retrograde, there's screw ups, because nobody wants to slow down to reflect. Everybody's trying to get on an airplane and go somewhere and, you know, get things done and go 100 miles an hour. Guess what? It's not time to do it. So there's going to be repercussions with trying to force things to move forward when it's time to stay home and reflect and plan for our future. So use this time for what it's good for, and that's what I'm seeing. And to start, I want you to really think about, because that's what this picture of the young girl told me. What is it that's new, that is exciting to you? What you've always wanted to manifest and do? I want you to really, really think about it and write it down. Write it down, because remember, when you write things down, you make them more real, because you're getting them out of your mind and putting it onto paper. And that's part of the manifestation process of making it more real. It's not just conjured up in your mind. So write it down so you know what you've been wanting to manifest. And if you really go back for the whole last year, what were your dreams and your hopes to really, really manifest? This is the year that you can most definitely without a shadow of a doubt, you're going to make it happen, because by the time Jupiter goes into Aries, this is all brand new energy. But between now and then, work on your manifestation. And I know all of you have heard this before, that it takes 21 days to change a habit. So you can't do this just one time and your whole life's going to change. That just, maybe it can happen if you believe it so, but they say it takes 21 days to change any habit. So that's 3 weeks essentially. So I want you to get serious about this, because I want to start retrieving all the success stories soon. So you're going to be using this law of attraction, imagine it, visualizing it, feeling it, making it in the present, and make it part of your constant awareness that it's already happened, you're part of it. Feel it, feel it, feel it, feel it. This is how it works. You can't just say, I hope, I wish, I pray. That was one thing I wanted you to get out of the talk about praying for rain. It's not going to work when you just beg and plead with some divine force outside of yourself. Realize you are that force and you are the power to create by using the feeling and the presence of it already occurring. And know, not just believe. I know everything that I'm manifesting has already happened. I know it, I feel it, I sense it. So I want to hear the success stories from all of you. And because I hope I'm inspiring you to do this work, but do it for 21 days. Hey, if you screw up and you miss a day, don't worry. I used to, there was one time where in order to be, what was it? There was a certain meditation technique that they said if you missed a day, it's completely screwed up. So don't think like that. That's not the way it is. Sometimes life gets in the way. Just, keep on doing it. By the time you've done it over 21 times, it'll be a habit. It'll be a pattern. It'll be part of who you are. And you're going to start seeing the results of manifestation. This is what I know. It's worked for everyone that seriously took this seriously, not sitting there saying, oh, I can't afford this, I can't do that. Hey, people aren't doing the work that say these kind of things. They aren't. And all of you that are here, I know you are dead serious about believing and knowing that this truly manifestation works, but you got to do the work. You can't just hope and pray and all that stuff. That's what we've been doing our whole life. And we know that doesn't work, but we have the answer and we have the tools. Just like, this young lady, she's got a tool in her hand. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think she's working probably in the fields and that's part of her tools. But she does have a tool and she knows she can manifest probably this man in her life somehow too. But whatever it is, let me just say, this is the time I want you to reflect and gather what it is, because you're going to manifest it. So with that, with the astrology, everything that we're looking at, tell me what comes to your mind. Is there anything that I've missed that you want to share about your realizations for the new year?
Hey, Joni. I'm worried about the next 12 days or 10 days or whatever we have left before these things. And my regular horoscopes and stuff kind of warned me too. I hired you a few years ago to do a reading for me. And this is like the last 10 days of the hardest 2.5 years in my relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of afraid. And I'm wondering, like, does it say anything like, is it better to take a trip or is there anything I can do to protect myself against this type of energy for the next 10 days, this Mars, Saturn, all this stuff?
Yeah, yes, definitely. I want you to meditate on what you've learned through this time. You've got to have learned something very powerful about relationships and love. And it's not like you have to visualize this particular person that you're involved with or not involved with. You just have to know that you deserve love and you've learned something great about love and yourself. And don't be afraid. You know, whatever happens is happening for your highest good. The astrology is just a cyclic process of what you're experiencing. And it's bringing up the stuff from the past. And that's what's painful for
It's
all of us.
continually gotten worse though. So I'm worried. I'm like, okay, when
Don't
is
be
like,
worried. It's going to be fine.
the finale is like, you know, okay.
Yeah, don't be worried because the finale is going to be what you need. And maybe you may not know that that's for your highest good, whatever it may be. So maybe it's endings, maybe it's new beginnings, but you know, every time there is an ending, there is a new beginning. And everything is cyclic. So come from this place of what that young lady looked like. Be excited about your future. And I know it's hard to do when you're feeling like you're in pain and you know things are sad or endings, but
Everything else is really good. Like everything else is really good. And like you said, success stories, like remember you saw my check on the Zoom the other
Yeah,
day? I tripled my numbers in
Wow.
December, you know, like everything else is like on that trajectory that we talk about in this class, but I'm down to the last 10 days of this other lesson. And it's been pretty intense. The last few weeks have been really intense.
so so meditate, even if it's for 5 minutes. And I know you don't feel like it when you're in pain, because all you do is think about your pain and what's happened and all the memories and things like that. But I want you to meditate and sincerely ask, what have I learned through this experience? And it will come to you, whether it comes to you the first or second or third time, but it will come to you. And take that lesson and make it a positive in your life. That lesson, we're all here for learning. And relationships teach us the hardest lessons in our life. Because remember this, and this is the hardest thing to realize, there's something within you that attracted this. What is it?
Get rid of that.
Right. But there's something within you, and it's not easy to get rid of because usually it's in your subconscious mind since childhood. What is it within you that attracted this relationship to teach you about you and your subconscious mind and the habits that you acquired from childhood or even your past life that you're here to learn from, because it is not serving you for your highest good because you're suffering right now. You're in pain. What is it? You got to realize it's not about them, it's about you. So when you realize that, then you have the power within you to change it. And yeah, looking at the chart, you can even see better what it is. That, you know, sometimes when you're just like, I have no idea. Look at the chart. Look at what houses, what planets are involved. They will tell you exactly what you're here to learn. And you got to learn this lesson in this lifetime because you don't want to come back and repeat it in the next. So whatever it is, and remember, be kind to yourself. You know, it's whatever it is, you can't sit there and say, oh, this is bad. It's not, nothing's bad or good. It's just something that the energy, you don't like the way this makes you feel. And it's something that you're here to heal. Remember, in order to heal, you have to feel. And it's a lifelong lesson. So look at this as a great opportunity to heal that. Does that help at all?
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So anyone else want to add or share?
Hi, everybody. Oh, sorry. Oh, wait.
Just surrender.
Go ahead. I want both of you to speak. Go ahead. Whoever wants to go first.
You can, Kelly.
All right, I'm going in here. I just want to add, when you were chatting away, Joni, that I did my predictions for the year, right?
Mhm.
So one of the biggest things we have to remember that this year is a big stepping stone type of year. Okay, so it's the type of energy that's going to get us.
Damn it.
Whoops, you froze up.
there's gonna, you know,
Kelly, we didn't hear what you just said for the last 10 seconds or so. Uh-oh, you're still frozen. Can you hear us? Can y'all hear? Can anybody hear Kelly?
No.
She's
No.
frozen.
Okay.
She's muted there.
can
Kelly,
you
you're
hear me
back.
now? Now, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, sorry about that. What I was gonna say to you is I did my my predictions for this year.
Mhm.
And one of the things that is really important that everybody remembers, actually, that Spirit gave me is this year's big word is stepping stone. All right. So this is the stepping stone year for the goal to come, what our goals are for coming up to, 2024, when we can really like blast it out. And it's important to remember that it's the year of like finding your tribe. That's what I blogged about. And we have to find our tribe. And that's like, and it's the people who, want to put you in the fray. You got to stay out of it. All right. The people who, it's a big question year too, because everybody is going to go through like, who do I want to be when I grow up? Okay. Even if you're 50 some years old. So this is really important for everybody to understand. And you know what? And when you have those stepping stones, you have like low points, right? So big shit. There's low points in life. That's reality, right? So, but you have to realize that that's the end. That's going forward into bringing you, like we talked about, our manifestations and being present. So I'm not going to go through all my things, but my predictions. But what I do want to say is if we look back, Spirit always makes me look backwards to go forward. So if we look back, you know what? It's going to be a year like 1991. It's going to be a year like when our country was founded. We're going to have a lot of like that type of energy to it, right? But it's also a timing of, you know what? It's such a cool time too, because the timing of pulling everything together, like for you personally, is, oh my God, you cannot not knock it out of the park, is what I'm trying to say. So you know what? And I just wanted to share that because people are going through a lot of change and a lot of personal stuff and things coming at you and things you never thought you had to deal with at this stage in our world, right? But it really, if you can just kind of keep it real simple for yourself in energy and just say, you know what, I'm in it to win it. You know what, you overcome it real simple. And the people who are the energy sucks, okay, I'm just calling it what it is. The people who suck the energy out of you, that your energy is like way, way high and they're down here and you're not going down there because you're more evolved. So you'll attract the people that will be on your plane, your tribe. So just remember that, like, you're in charge, and anybody else who's trying to demean you or put you down or not make you feel successful, that's a big thing too. Then you know what, then you have to realize that, okay, you know what, go kick sand because I have a new sandbox, right? So that's important message that I'm just paralyzed with everything, but that's what Spirit's given to me right now. So just take that, because that's what our year is going to evolve, but it's going to be, I think we're all going to blow past this year and say, holy schmoly, look who I've become. And I think that's remember that, like, you know what, we're going future, not past.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah, a lot of sense.
Okay.
You're not gonna connect with people that you don't vibrate with.
No.
Certain frequency.
And I don't think the energy of this year is going to let you do that.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Thank you so much. That is just really powerful and very inspiring for us all to hear that. Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, good. All righty. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I call that getting rid of dead wood.
Getting rid of what?
Dead wood.
Okay. Yeah. Clearing it out. Okay, Michelle.
So Joni, I want to share something that this whole year has kind of been all about this manifestation and energy. And I went to the Joe Dispenza seminar, which I've told you all before, but it just keeps coming back to bring that, you know, divine experience into self. The one thing that I just keep resonating with that I learned with Joe Dispenza is he brings everything, all the love and gratitude into the heart chakra. So for me, it was kind of hard to find that thing of the gratitude where I could just feel it in my heart. One was when my first child was born and I held him in my arms, and I just was so grateful that he made it safely, because it was a horrible emergency delivery, but he made it, we made it. And that was a moment of gratitude. And then also another moment of gratitude. These are real life experiences that were horrible, that you have to turn that pain and suffering into the lesson and the gratitude of what you received. I had two more. One, my nephew was killed in a car wreck, and I wasn't very nice to him before the day he died, because I was like, your dad's waiting, hurry up. And I'm being the bossy aunt. He never came back. And the lesson that he left me with was that I could do better. I could make more time to be loving. And it is the greatest gift. The biggest loss I ever had was the greatest gift I was ever given, because he taught me to be a better mom. He gave me the tools to be a good mom, which I'm so grateful for. Another one, my maid that's been with us for 17 years, she helped me help my mom cross. And when my mom had crossed and was gone, I couldn't get the words out to thank her. I had such love and gratitude. And so those were the thoughts that I was able to ground that love and gratitude into the heart chakra. And then Joe Dispenza teaches us through meditation, take that love and gratitude in the heart chakra, and then be nothing, no one, nowhere, and go out to the divine. No thoughts, just an emotion. And then that energy that you made, where you said the black hole, it's infinite. You know, there's physics that shows that when you go back out, it comes back in infinitely, like this water fountain. And so that's what this gratitude through the heart chakra does. So when you start from gratitude of your human avatar, and you go out into the divine matrix with not thinking, but just being, and you want to pull back in believing or knowing or like smelling the rain already as if it's rained and it's fresh and it's there, but it's not, but it is. That is the power of manifestation. And it works. It's so simple, but like the pictures today that you showed, that girl is so present. She's in her heart. That's it. That girl is going to walk away and remember that moment, that feeling. Look at that smile on her. And then the old man, he's got a grin, a smirk on his face, right? Like you could just tell that he's just grateful for something in his life. And when you put the two together, if you were watching her, it's almost a smirk of her, because he knows the joy that she's experiencing, and he's reflecting on that in his life and feeling gratitude. That's what I saw.
Wow, that's amazing. That really ties it all together.
It just keeps coming at me this 6 months. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. Here I am in this group. So here we are talking about it again. And these pictures and these conversations and experiences just keep building it for me, right? Almost to the point where I can start to explain it, understand it, and practice it.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's practice. Like you said, I got to sit down and do it every day. I hate meditating until I'm meditating. I have ADD, OCD, ABC, and XYZ. I can't be bothered, but I do it because in those moments I call it the matrix. I don't know where else to call it, and try to bring in or bring down and manifest a good day, right? Or my next desire.
Mm-hmm. No, that is a good way of explaining it. And the fact that we have to do the work.
It's hard for me.
Yeah, it's hard for everyone, you know. unless I guess you're a Tibetan monk or something, but we're in the real world, right? It's hard for everyone. It's like we always have an excuse why we have to do something else, but it is essential to reconnect to our spirit and our soul and who we truly are, instead of all the illusion out there that, and I feel like once you really do become more connected with your spirit, with your soul, as you were saying, Madeline, that our goals, the things we want to achieve in our life, they'll change because we're going to come from a higher frequency. Like you say, when you let go and you're not the person, you're not, you know, you disconnect and you're one with oneness, and that means you don't have a name, you aren't anybody. Hey, that means you've united with the divine. Your vibrational frequency when you do this type of work has to change. And
Joe Dispenza shares the science of that, and he shows the science of the blood work, the spit, the DNA, the heart rates, the respiratory, and you actually have physiological changes, healing changes.
yeah.
And I feel healthier or calmer or more grounded when I'm done.
Mhm.
You know, I can feel something. I don't know what it is. I don't feel aches or pains. I just kind of feel nothing, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's definitely, you know, like we've been trying to simplify it, which it is very simple. It's all energy. It's energy, it's vibration, it's frequency. And when you elevate yourself, you're going to change your frequency. And this is only going to heal and make us better. You know, we may not be able to see the full picture yet, and that's okay. We don't have to. We just have to do the work, and you're going to see how your life's going to change for the better. All of us. That's why we're here. We know the power of the divine, and we all believe and know it, and we're going to transform our lives through practice. So that's why we meet every week, so we'll remember to practice this. Yeah, at least you're taking the time out to hear us all out today. So that will give you the ability to stay grounded. Even if you lose touch a week, no problem. We're reminded to get back. Yeah. So anyone else want to share?
Yeah, I do. It's about meditation. And I used to be a meditation teacher, like I said, with Deepak Chopra and all. And there was a point in my life when I was meditating maybe an hour twice a day and really getting deep. And I find that now I can't do that for that long a period of time. It becomes very uncomfortable. And so I think shorter, you know, a shorter session definitely works for me. And especially, I think it's because of the planetary energy, we're all feeling it, you know, and things are in chaos, and it's hard to sit there and be calm for that long because we get distracted, you know, we're feeling it. But I think what happens is because we are more aware of what's going on and we're more intuitive, we don't have to sit in meditation as long as we probably used to have to, because we've already raised our energy level to a higher state. And the whole reason why you meditate is so that you can take that experience in meditation out into the real world, out into your, you know, everyday life. Mm-hmm. And if you've already raised your energy up to a certain level, then that's already there. And your life then becomes the meditation. Your everyday experiences then become the meditation, because you come from a state of being aware, of awareness of who you really are, which is an energy being, a God being. Mm-hmm. And you send that out into the world. Just your mere presence, going to the grocery store or whatever, raises the energy vibration level of the people who are around you and who you contact. And so I think the more you become enlightened that way, maybe the less meditation you have to do, you know, the less time spent in the meditation possibly.
I agree with you, Michelle. I think what you're essentially saying is we should be from practice in meditation all the time. Waking, and I know Joe Dispenza talks about waking, walking, where you're in a meditative state all the time. And I think he talked about, I think in one of his books about, like going out and walking the dog and being in constant meditation the whole time, not just with your eyes open, being in meditation. In other words, not with your eyes closed. So yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal, to be in constant meditation. I know I'm not there yet, but that is the goal. All right. Anyone else want to add anything before we close? We just got a few more minutes. All right. So I guess we're good with all this. This was a good reminder. Remember, let me recap. Remember, now's the time. You don't have to worry about getting things done. Just figure out what your desire body is, what it is you want to manifest for this year, and feel it. Make it that it's already happened. And like I said, be in constant thought of it. That in essence is being in meditation all the time. Okay, being constant thought of that, because that is your reality, that is your truth, that is what you're vibrating from, that is your frequency, and that is your energy. So this is a new beginning. Just don't feel like you have to go out and force things to happen right now. Just go within, because like I said, it's a good time to meditate when planets are retrograde, and look to see what lesson you are here to gain from this Mars retrograde, from this Mercury retrograde. This whole month pretty much is important for that. I think, what you'll see when the planets station, it's more powerful, and that's going to be around January 12th. That's going to be intense. Yes, because when planets station, they're practically standing still, and the energy of the planet becomes more dominant in the world. Mars isn't an easy energy to deal with. It deals with anger, violence, disruption, war. So realize, this is like the grand finale too. Yes. Mercury is going to go direct around the 17th. So when it's stationing, it's more powerful. We're here to look deeper into what we need to learn about ourselves. What is going on in that subconscious mind that is that it's programmed to, that is just this recording the same stuff over and over again. If you don't like your thoughts, Mercury rules our thoughts, it's time to consciously change them. It's not easy. Yeah, and you'll get frustrated, and the same things will come up over and over again. You'll feel like throwing in the towel, but don't. Just say, hey, I don't like this. Therefore, when I'm thinking about this all the time, I'm creating it in my life. Let me think about what I want to create. That's where your thoughts need to be. So we're going to get down to business this year. We're going to manifest everything. So hang in there. And realize what the cyclic process of what the stars and all the cycles are telling us to focus in on right now. Okay, and we can all do it. And we're going to help each other weekly as we come together in this class. Okay, so Happy New Year, everyone. I think I've made my point, and let's stick together. Okay, all right. Thank you, everyone. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.